first. Walking her through, guys. Hit the pop out. Right here.
Give me a minute. I know we've been doing this how long? And
How long we've been doing this, and you're still. I'm having to walk you through all this. I mean, I shouldn't have to do that.
No, you shouldn't, but oh well.
Oh well.
Okay, there
it is. Okay, guys. We finally made it. Yes, it is dark in here. It is always dark in here. We can't put a light out in front of us like most YouTubers do, the fancy people, because Miss Wanda has glasses on and she won't wear sunshades, and it leaves little round white raccoon eyes on her glasses. And
well, I could wear sunshades, but I couldn't read.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we have the lights. I mean,
they're attached.
They're attached. Okay. It's just perfect the way it is. We have lights out in front of us. It's just that we can't use them because of her glasses. And, and we have lights above us and everything. Leave the camera alone.
It's still not right. There it is, maybe. Yeah, we need a light behind us, but it hits my glasses. It hits her glasses,
and it leaves little raccoon eyes on them, and she don't like that. So
I bought all kinds of YouTube lights for YouTubers and stuff.
We're about to go broke buying lights to make this work, and I told her if she just put sunshades on.
I can't read with them though. I have to have my glasses. So, oh well.
It is what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
So we're glad everybody's popped in here, and tonight we want to talk about preserving the harvest, right?
Preserving what you get out of the garden, or what you get at the store, or what you get from a farmer's market, or what you get from whatever you rob, steal, cheat, lie. No? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, but the truth of the matter is, that's what's coming.
I know, but we don't do that.
I know, we don't do that, but that's what's coming.
There's going to be a lot of
might as well just wake up to the fact that's what's fixing to happen.
Yeah, so right now, a lot of people have had a lot of questions about either freezing stuff, dehydrating, freeze drying, canning, pickling.
There's Jeannie from south of Wiggins.
Jeannie from south of Wiggins. Anyway, I can't hardly read tonight. My eyes, I don't know what it is.
I'll try.
I mean, I feel like I'm too far away. I got to get closer. Danny's I got my chair too far back.
I'm sitting way back. I'm 60-something years old, and every time I go to the eye doctor, they're like, Mr. King, you need to be wearing glasses. And I'm like, I have glasses. Well, why don't you wear them?
No.
I'm sitting where I can read that fine print from way back here.
I can read it, but if I get back here, it's fuzzy. So I have to be close.
Anyway.
John says, I want to be just like Uncle Danny when I grow up.
No.
I don't think you do.
You might want to be like me, but you don't want to have to go through what I've been through to be like me.
True.
If you don't believe me, just ask Zoltan. Zoltan was here, and it was one of them deals, I'll tell you.
How do you use your canned squash? I'm out of freezer space. All right, so my canned squash does get mushy. A lot of people say they don't like it because it's mushy. I usually drain it.
Yep.
And then I use it in casseroles. I'll put it in soups. I have a squash casserole, squash puppies, which is like
a hush puppy, but she squeezes all the moisture out of them, and then she uses them in like hush puppies.
Yeah. I've also got a squash cake recipe. You can use it like apples in a cake. Promise nobody knows you put squash in there.
Nope.
She
tricks me all the time.
Cinnamon and all this stuff in there. Yeah. Because squash takes on the taste of whatever you put it in.
Yeah.
So if you just need a filler in anything, drain your squash, dump it in it.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see, canning tomato sauce and freezing enchilada sauce base today. Wow.
I love to see people canning and doing stuff. David Dubai says it's all going dark 16th of September. Do I agree? David is a very close friend of mine.
Actually,
Guys,
watched that video.
Actually, I've watched that video because I watch most all of David's videos, and he and I chit chat every so often back and forth. Uh, do I agree with that? Yes, I do agree with that because you've got to understand the logistics behind the food system. And once you understand that, you'll understand that the food you're eating today, let's say this, the food you're going to the grocery store and eating today was picked and done something with a year to a year and a half ago. So we've had nothing but failures for the last 2 years in this country. And at some point, it's got to catch up, guys. And David has lots of information from behind the scenes, just like I get information from behind the scenes. We make promises to people, we won't say their names, and we don't, because if you ever say someone's name, you lose all your credibility and plus nobody ever talk to you again. So, yes, things are going to happen.
Dates, who knows?
Well,
but it's got to come together
at some point. It's got to happen, you know.
What somebody says, what does it mean going dark? Not the lights out, all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily. They're talking food wise, right? It's all got to start slowing down.
When it says things are going to go dark, it just simply means that there's not going to be anything out there to buy, and
well, there'll
be some stuff out there to buy, but in order to buy it, you're going to have to be very wealthy to be able to purchase it.
I mean, it's already gotten to the point that some things in the grocery store are totally outrageous. Y'all are still buying. Danny and I don't go to the grocery store and buy a whole lot, but we went the other day, and I bought up a few little things that I wanted as snacks, and I'm sitting there looking at them, and I'm looking at Danny like, do I want to pay this?
I want to pay this for that.
You know, and they've shrunk everything. I like to have a Nutty Buddy every now and then, so I picked up a pack of Nutty Buddies, and used to, I think there was 8, I think. Or no, it said there would be 12 in a pack. Well, when you got them, it was 6, but there was doubles. They shrunk them. I'm talking, they were half the size they used to be and twice the price. And I'm like, good Lord have mercy. I hadn't even been there for
Raymond, I do see your comment, Raymond. Thank you. That was a video that I wanted to make. I actually got 2 of them, eyes to see and ears to hear. God gave them both to me almost simultaneously. And I just had to put them out there. They were very time sensitive, I believe.
Okay, now we had 2 or 3 comments on Canon and different things. Y'all gonna have to repost, because when he was talking, I don't know how to stop this thing. It's run over to the side and it won't let me.
You have to grab the whole screen and drag it over.
I don't know.
Right there.
Okay.
Right there. Now,
that's it. Okay, now let me go back for just a minute because
she wants to back up. She wants to try to catch those comments.
Somewhere there was 2 or 3 that were.
You done gone back to the beginning almost.
Yeah. Okay, they're talking. All right. Yes. How long will the okra you canned for frying be kept before using? Okay.
Oh gosh,
I've got some that's 3 and 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I just fried it this week. I can't remember. I think it was 4 years old, and it's still good. And then that was Andrea, and now Lori said, "Can I can homemade tomato basil soup? I have 1 cup of cream in 2 gallons of soup." Once you make the soup, you should be able to.
You'll have to look and see whatever requires the longest canning time in something, then you'll have to do it that length of time.
I think what she's worried about is the cream that's in it. So I don't know. I've never made things like that. I make mine.
We make cream of
and add it later.
Yeah, we just make the cream of and add it later. Let's see here. Danny, let's see, where is this? Okay, here we go. Is it worth upgrading the oil change free pump on the Harvest Right?
No.
No. If you've got an oil pump, if you got the medium oil pump, keep it. Do not go with the oilless pump.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like those once they got them. All right. Do you freeze your seeds each year for growing crops the next year? So which
Now,
seeds do you freeze?
I only freeze my corn, my peas. Now, I'm not talking about English peas. I'm talking about field peas and things like butter beans and stuff like that. I do that for about the corn. I just leave in the freezer. I don't even take it out. Peanuts I put in the freezer and I just leave them in the freezer. Peas I put them in the freezer, and butter beans for about 2 weeks, and then I take them out, and they're usually good after that because all peas and beans have worms in them.
The Biblical Animal Farm said that they lost their farm and all their livestock a little over a year ago, and they were homeless till they could get a new homestead and start over. They're starting over from the ground up, so they're asking for prayers. So y'all
definitely pray for the Biblical Animal Farm.
Yes. Can you dehydrate onions and peppers in the oven? Yes, you can, but you got to turn it on the lowest setting because it will cook them if you.
And you got to be vigilant about watching.
It's real hard to dehydrate in an oven, but now, like my little toaster oven does dehydrate. You can buy toaster ovens that will dehydrate. It's got a low enough setting on it, so check those out. They're not that expensive, under $100 usually.
Danny, what variety of white sweet potatoes do you grow? Nancy Halls? Yes, we grow Nancy Halls and the Triumph. Those are the two that we grow.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay, we're probably way behind now.
Yeah, I'm fixing to go. Well, am I down to it? No.
No, you hit that little blue button when it pops up. And
what blue? I don't see it.
It's not there because you're at the bottom.
Am I where I need to be?
Yeah, you're where you need to be.
All right, so maybe we caught those 2 or 3 that I saw earlier.
How to keep weeds out without hoeing so much? Ground cover, Chris. I mean, just put the ground cover down when you plant or before you plant. We do it in some things we don't.
Yeah. One thing everybody needs is a ball blue book if you're going to be pressure canning or water bath canning. I recommend that you get some type of book. The Ball does make a really good book. I have 3 of these that look similar to this, different years. And then somebody sent me the 1960 Ball Blue book. The information in the 60 is the same as what's in all 3 of the others, plus the newest ones. So if you find these books at a secondhand store, buy them. I'm going to tell you, y'all won't go wrong with the Ball Blue books. What sugarcane variety are you growing, and what's the latest I can plant sugarcane in South Louisiana?
I really don't know what variety it is. I got it from a gentleman that's been in his place for a long time. And you really need to plant sugarcane in the fall, to be honest. You don't need to plant it any later in September if you want to have it for the next year.
Is there a difference in, okay, it's messing up. Is there a difference in temperament
between red and black dexters?
Looking to get 2 red polled calves next week.
Graysdale, temperament really doesn't have anything to do with hair color. Temperament basically comes from the parents and how well the calf is treated when he's young. I've got one right now I can't even touch. This black. I just butchered a black one I could do anything I wanted with. I mean, so it has nothing to do with the color of it. It all has to do with how that calf is raised.
Can you dehydrate greens to save and put in soups and stews? Yes.
Yes, you can do that.
Any leafy thing can be dehydrated. You can then turn it into a powder and add it to whatever you want. How do you feel about Instapot electric canner? I don't own one, and I'm a little
We're
skittish of that kind
skittish
of
of
stuff.
them. We really are. We just like the old-fashioned way of doing it because
Yeah.
there's not really a way to
There's a
monitor
lot of
it.
people out there that use them, and I won't say it's a bad thing, but too many electrical appliances. How's your sugar cane doing?
Our sugar cane's doing great. It is really doing great. Do you boil your canning lids before using? No worries.
No, I do not.
The new ones, you do not have to do that.
I learned, 6, 8 months ago, it says to wash them in soapy water, rinse them off, and then lay them to the side. And the bowl and the 4 jars that I use, both of them say it's the same thing. And that's what I've been doing for the last few months, and I've had no problems with mine not sealing. A lot of people are having problems with jars not sealing, the lids not sealing, and I do believe it is because they've changed the makeup, the material.
Change the material that they make them out of.
Yeah, so I don't boil them anymore. Have you ever dehydrated the leaves of peppers?
No, we never dehydrate any pepper leaves.
I put all my seeds in the freezer, including tomatoes, cucumbers. Are they ruined now?
You don't have to put tomatoes and cucumbers in the freezer. It really, there's nothing that messes with them. The biggest thing with tomatoes is you make sure that you saved them the right way so that the film around the seed that lasts a year that keeps it from coming up for the first year is actually off of the seed. I mean, there's a process. I have a video on it. You can go watch that. But they do not have to be put in a refrigerator or freezer.
I have to say hi to Lynn and Wayne in Homestead over in Australia. I'm not sure if they up real early or real late or whatever. Their time is a little different.
What was this new law I told you was over there?
Yeah, Lynn. We saw something.
There was a new law
to do with gardening.
There was a new law that said
in Victoria.
In Victoria that said it was fixed to be against the law to plant to grow your own food.
If it passes.
If it passes. Now I don't know if it has passed or not, but they said the information I got said that there was a law in the parliament over there in Victoria, Australia that said that.
Lori says, "Is there a way to can carrots and have them taste like fresh?" No.
No.
They're going to taste like canned carrots.
They're going to taste like canned carrots. If you want them fresh, you're going to have to do them through a freeze dryer, or you're going to have to just...
freeze drying doesn't.
Freeze dry them, they taste just like they did when they come out of the ground.
How do you know for sure your canning lid is sealed? That little...
It sucks in on the top and is, was it convex?
Something like that. And it, I don't know. Usually it'll ping.
You'll hear it ping.
Now 4 jars does not ping as loud as regular jars. Some of them I heard today ping and some I didn't. But every day this week that I've been using 4 jars, the lids have sealed. They're good. So I know somebody was complaining, said they don't ping. Well, I don't hear mine half the time anyway because I'm not in the kitchen. I take them out and leave them and come back later. But they are sealed. They kind of pull down, suction down. That's the word I'm looking for.
Somebody, let's see here. Bernie says, I'm in Wisconsin. The blueberry plants are turning yellow. The pH is 6.1. What do you think is wrong? The pH is too high. It needs to be no more than 5.1. So you need to put some sulfur around them, something to make it acidy.
With the price of feed going up, will we be able to keep our herd? Well,
yeah.
We downed our herd.
We downed our herd to 4 cows and 1 bull. And of course, we got a couple of calves coming on. But I bought enough hay to last 2 years at one time. Because I knew this was all coming. I'd done been told last year it was going to happen. And I've tried to warn everybody. I've tried to tell people that the heat was coming, that the lack of... They needed their hay. They needed their hay. You better get hay for the next 2 years when you buy. I can only tell people. I did it myself, and now I am thankful that I did.
And we have 10 acres. We have our property where the cows can go all the way around.
Yep.
and we have grass, bushes, things like this, and we got cows that can eat bushes.
Yeah, well, that's the reason we
Our
went
cows
with Dexter's.
like that.
We did not want no other cow. I used to raise cows my whole life, and I've raised all the breeds, and I know that the only one that's going to survive what's coming is going to be Dexter's.
Or anything like that that will eat.
Or the old Piney Woods,
yeah, Piney Woods,
something like that. The Longhorns.
If you've got cows that are used to eating fresh grass and a lot of hay, and you don't have either, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. Now, a lot of people would go with pole varieties, South Pole, and, Charolais and Santa Gertrudeses and all, and you're going to be in trouble.
The real Zooch, I don't know, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
The blackout curtains have really helped, Gail said. Yes, we've had several people say that.
I've tried to tell people last year, get blackout curtains. Get something to cover the windows in your house. You're going to need it with the heat that's coming. As a matter of fact, right now there's a dome building up in Texas, going to go all the way through to Kansas, on up into Canada, and this could last until September or October of this year.
Longhorns is another tough cow.
Yeah, I said Longhorn.
Did you?
Yeah.
What dual-purpose chicken would you recommend?
The one that Kevin and Sarah is trying to raise now, from Living Traditions. The name of it, oh man, I was thinking about getting us some of them. It just slipped my mind.
Can you freeze watermelon? Yes, I have some in the freezer right now. I also freeze dry watermelon. It is amazing. Cantaloupe is awesome freeze dried. You can freeze it, put it in the freezer, do that. You can dehydrate watermelon and cantaloupe.
Yeah.
I did do that one year. What's the best place to find some kind of burning stove? I guess a wood burning stove.
I have no idea on that one.
I couldn't.
Good Lord, the chat's rolling.
Yeah, it did, and it took off.
American Breeze. Is it Breeze chickens?
Maybe.
It's just coming to my mind. American Breeze.
Or American breast.
Okay, breast.
White breast. I don't know, something like that. That's what. But breast.
Kevin told me it's American breast, I believe. Yeah.
Or something. Have you ever pickled watermelon rind?
I have.
I have not, but I've eaten some. I got sent some one time. Do you know how to make an outdoor oven for baking bread or anything else baked? We were checking out the solar ovens, but not sure about how well they bake bread.
They're pretty good, I'm going to be honest with you. They keep a pretty good temperature.
But would it be enough to bake bread?
They'll bake up to 350 degrees. I
don't know. We don't have a
as hot as the sun's going to be getting in the next few years.
A lot of stuff.
You can probably boil water in it.
I wouldn't doubt it. Let's see. What do you think about letting your land rest every 7 years?
There's nothing wrong with that if you want to do that. We're not under a biblical law that says we have to do it. It's just good common sense. Wanda and I have 5 gardens, and every year we can just let one lay, and we don't even have to use it if we don't want to. But now people who don't have the space, you're pretty much stuck. You're gonna have to do what you got to do. That was given for a biblical law for the land of Israel. And guys, back then, let me just say this: back then they didn't amend the soil like we do today. They didn't have the fertilizers, and they had animal manure. This was more about trusting God to provide for you every 7th year. And it was just a biblical law in the Torah for the nation of Israel only. But I'm going to say now, it doesn't hurt to do it, but you don't have to do it.
Okay, so Sandy said she had baked bread. It turned out great. Somebody else said Doug and Stacy's baked bread in the All-American Sun.
I thought Stacy had done that.
Yeah, and so it did work.
Yeah.
All right. I want to show a couple of books here. I had a lady I've done, let's see, this one, rehydration calculations made easy. This is for freeze drying and for dehydrated foods. If you don't know how much water to add back to it, this has a list of things inside it. Oh,
It's just charts.
It's charts. In metric, one side is metric, one side is U.S. measurements. So you got both in one book, according, and it just tells you if you had freeze-dried strawberry juice, 1 cup of this, you add a cup of water. I mean, it tells you how much for each thing. If you needed eggs, for 12 eggs, 1.5 cups of the powdered eggs to 2 1/4 cups of water. Things like that that you might not know. Wanda Clark sent these books, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. And then the other one is called Soup Mixes. She tried each recipe in this book, and it is made from pantry stable products. Everything is powdered, dehydrated, or freeze dried. And that way you have a way to make something that can be eaten. We're going to be giving these books away shortly to somebody. So if you have questions about anything like that, let us know.
Somebody's asking if their onions blow over, the tops of them break over, will they stop growing? They won't stop growing, but they won't grow as well. Now they will. You will have to keep an eye on them pretty regular and check to make sure that the tops don't start turning brown or anything. If they do, you got to get the onion out of the ground if that happens. Now, what are you going to do with these books?
We're going to give away a couple of sets of them or individual ones or something in just a little while. Miss Lippy's helping me with that. We kind of got that covered. We'll give them away toward the end. I haven't seen her in here. She's in the background watching.
Okay.
All right, for city folks with questionable soil, have you heard of anyone growing sweet potatoes indoors? If so, how successful would...
I haven't heard of anybody growing them indoors because sweet potatoes need a lot of heat, they need a lot of light, and they take 125 days to do it, and the vines go crazy. Now they do have a short vine variety out for people up north, which might work in a container inside. I don't know, but personally, I've never seen anyone do it.
How do you keep birds off strawberries?
We shoot them. I'm honest, y'all. I mean, you asked me a question. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I shoot anything that fools with my food source.
As long as it leaves it alone.
As long as you leave my food alone, you can live here in peace and harmony.
I got a funny story. Y'all gonna have to just repost questions. Danny comes in the other day. I wish to goodness I'd had a camera and was out watching him. He comes in toting every peach off our peach tree.
Yeah, I went. Look, our peach tree was loaded with peaches.
Right.
They were almost ripe. And I was in the barn working, and I kept hearing this bird make this noise. I said, "What is he doing?" And I'm a nature person, you know, so I'm paying attention to nature all the time. And I walked out behind the barn and went around the edge of the corn, and I looked at my peach tree. There was a woodpecker flying into my peaches, pecking holes in my peaches. And I'm like, "Shoo, get out of here," you know. And he flew away, and I turned around and started walking off. I heard something and looked, and there he was back again. And I tried to shoo him, and he wouldn't leave. He just kept flying at me and flying, and they were trying to get the peaches. And I said, "You little joker, you." I said, "I'll fix this problem." And I pulled every peach off the tree.
He said he had his shirt up.
I had my shirt pulled up like this, and I pulled every peach off the tree, put it in my shirt, and I brought them home to Ms. Wanda, and I told her, I said, "Here, some of them's green, some of them's ripe, some of them's overripe, but that freaking woodpecker is not getting another one."
Yeah, wanted to get him because there was no way you could.
I didn't have a gun on me because I was.
You probably shouldn't be shooting.
I don't care. I'm these kind. I don't care.
I
was working. I didn't have my gun with me when I was working.
I just thought it was funny.
If I'd had a gun, I would have shot him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was funny. All right, so y'all gonna have to repost. Lucy says she did purchase a cookbook.
In Canada, yeah, you made it possible.
I made it possible this afternoon. So if you are in Canada and you want a cookbook, or if you're in another country, you'll have to message me at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com and let me know. I can go in and add different countries and add the postage to it. So I did add Canada today.
Do I think this winter is going to be a bad cold winter? Yes, I do. I believe it's going to be a cold one. Do you have a wild pig problem in Mississippi? In Mississippi places, yes. Here, no. I killed every wild hog within a 5-mile radius of me right here. If I was driving down the highway and saw one in somebody's field, I just shot him. I mean, I just killed every pig on my place, in the woods, anywhere around I seen one, because here, they're a nuisance, and the Game and Fish Commission says you can kill them day or night. And I killed every one I see because they destroy everything.
Okay, so somebody's asked several times, what is our favorite way to do pumpkin? We don't grow that many pumpkins. We had the Cherokee tans, which are the little small ones. I would do some of those. I would cut them in half and make boats, and then I would put sweet, like if I wanted one, I would do the honey and cinnamon, or brown sugar and cinnamon or something like that. With Danny's, I just do honey. We have done some with meat. I fixed meat and rice and stuff and stuffed them and all. You can do them either way, or you can make pies.
Wanda's cookbook is available on Etsy.
Yes,
Well, you had a whole pile of them somewhere.
They're over here somewhere.
I
forgot.
What breed? Hold on. Somebody said I can't use that mouse over there. Somebody asked what breed of pig do I recommend?
That's the cookbook. They're on Etsy.
The breed of pig depends on what you want it for. If you want the Idaho pasture pig is probably across the board the best pig to own. I'll just be honest with you. And if you can't get that, then probably a Berkshire or something like that would be next. Raccoons are eating my garden. What's a good deterrent? Bone sauce has worked great from us for pasture, permapasture farms, Mr. Billy. We got some from him, and it has kept all the coons out of ours. I'll say that.
All right. Do you have a favorite flat green bean variety? We don't really grow flat green beans.
We don't grow flat green beans. I mean, we're just not flat green bean eaters. We actually like the yellow wax beans better than any of them.
And then the contenders has always been ours. And
been our next.
The provider.
Yeah. Now provider turned out good this year.
Yeah. Survival garden seeds, and we're going to be giving some of those away before long. Again, they sent us 3 different size packs. One was in a container and 2 of them were in Ziploc bags. Survival garden seeds. There is a link in one of the descriptions when we gave those away. They contact us and they're going to send us some more to give away. We're going to do some type of giveaway where y'all show us the ones that got them. Show us what your pictures and stuff look like, and then we're going to do a giveaway before long on that.
Do you have gluten-free recipes in your cookbook?
Most all of them are gluten-free, and then if they're not, I usually tell you how to make them gluten-free, or if they're gluten-free, I tell you how to make them the regular way. I think, pretty much. Most of them are gluten-free anyways, put it that way. Danny doesn't eat anything.
Robin says, be careful those animal activists, Danny. They'll be over them woodpeckers. They'll be protesting in front of my home. They won't be in front of my house. Because I actually own the road that runs in front of my house. And if they come on that, they'll be trespassing. So they can do it up the road, way up yonder, but they can't do it right here. Because I'll have them arrested.
We have a lot of birds around here.
Yeah, we got tons of birds. When we have a permaculture home-like place like we have, we got thousands of birds. Matter of fact, if you listen to our videos, you probably hear them in the background everywhere.
All right, let's see. Somebody said they couldn't even get their green beans to
lots of people are having trouble with seeds this year, guys. I'm not gonna lie
All
to you.
kinds of things
All
with seeds.
from all companies. I mean, it ain't just no one company. It's from all companies.
Yeah, and so I'm really upset with a lot of
I'm
it.
upset with some that I've actually sponsored before because we've got some good friends that's ordered seeds from those companies and they did not get what they ordered. Of course, now the company's making them good, but still, it just you lose a growing season.
Can you smoke deer meat to preserve it?
Smoking does not preserve meat. You have to salt it and then smoke it.
And so talk a little bit about preserving meat that way, um, the old timey way, what they did back in the day, just a little bit briefly on meat, because that is one way to preserve
Well,
meat.
one thing, meat has to be salted, and it depends on where you live at. If you live in the deep south, the only way you're going to be able to salt anything and preserve it is you got to have a freezer or a cooler like we have, or an old refrigerator that's still working that you don't need. You've got to keep that meat at around 34 degrees, no warmer than 40, and you've got to salt it for so many days in order to make it happen. And then when you take it out, you can smoke it, and that smoke on the outside of it also helps. People used to use red pepper to keep like the skipper flies and things like that off of stuff. It just depends on what part of the country you live in. Now, if you live in Idaho, up in the plateaus of Idaho, where there's no humidity at all and it stays cool a lot, you could probably do it real easy.
Now, the survival garden seeds, I saw somebody posted, said, uh-oh, they bought that. They thought you were talking about them. We were not talking about survival garden
No. We're
seeds.
not talking about survival garden seeds. No.
So far, everything I've planted from
Yeah.
survival garden seeds has been what
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, and it's produced abundantly.
Yes.
I harvested green beans today. Y'all, that's unheard of here in the South. We don't usually have green beans past May.
Right.
And this is July, and the provider from Survival Garden Seeds, I pulled them up today, but I had enough that Danny had supper.
Is watermelon good for any health issues? Watermelon is great for lots of health issues. Kidneys, I mean, if you're dehydrated, it's great for that. I mean, watermelon just has a ton. I can't sit here and go through all of them, but it has a ton of things.
Plus, it tastes good.
Yeah. Are wild pigs safe to eat? Yeah, wild pigs. Now, I will tell you this. If you're eating wild pigs, the best thing to do with them is just make sausage out of them because they're going to be tough. They're going to have a little bit of a gamey taste, but if you make sausage out of them, I'm telling you, you won't even know it from regular sausage. I mean, it's really good.
All right. What yellow wax bean do you like? It's the
Cherokee yellow wax bean is the only one we found. When we like to grill them, now grilling them, oh my word, that is probably the best way we have found to be able to enjoy the yellow.
Maybe. Okay, maybe.
Okay, now, well,
all right. Can you?
I don't know. We was back. Okay, we're.
Can you pull figs a little early? Birds are getting them.
If you're going to be canning figs whole, you do not want them to be super ripe. You can get them just not green, but you can get them a little bit, a little bit early, not much. It's
I guess. Okay, we're back. Yes, they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been doing figs. I've been canning whole figs.
Yeah.
And today, hopefully, may have wound up my fig canning. But somebody asked, did we do preserves? Yes, we do on occasion.
Yeah.
But Danny eats the whole figs better.
I like the whole figs better.
And I do some preserves on occasion, but when we first married, I canned a lot of fig preserves. And then 2 and 3 years later, they were still sitting there. We would eat them for a while, and then we wouldn't touch them again for a long time.
What about buying seeds from Hall's Tool? I mean, you can buy seeds from Hall's Tool. We've never really had any problem.
They usually do pretty well.
They usually do really good for us. Matter of fact, we have videos on some of our spaghetti squash that we've done with them. I mean, a lot of our seeds come from them, I'll be honest with you. It's just that we've had some people say that they had a few problems, but we personally have not experienced that.
And Hall's Tools is making good the seeds that weren't what they were supposed to be. and we will know in a couple of weeks whether the new seeds are what they're supposed to be.
Danny, will fig trees thrive in zone 6? You'll probably have to grow them in containers and keep them pruned back and bring them inside in the wintertime and then take them back out, when it warms up. And they have a variety out now called a Chicago fig that's supposed to be able to stand the cold. You might want to look into that one.
All right, Grumpy Acres wants to know about peaches. He said they're getting big and red, and I don't want the deer to get them. Can I pick them early?
You can pick them a little bit early, not way early now, but you can.
As long as
they're turning red real good and all, and you're within like a week of them ripening, you can get them early and let them set, and they'll do just fine.
And somebody said try freeze drying figs. I freeze dried some last year, and they were amazing. And I've got some I'm freeze drying now. We do like freeze dried figs. Somebody's asking about fig Newtons. I have a recipe in my cookbook for gluten-free fig Newtons, and you can flip it to regular fig Newtons. So it's homemade fig Newtons. They're really good. Where should I plant my figs? Full sun or a mixture of both?
With what's coming, I would say a mixture. Just plant your figs in a mixture.
What do figs taste like? Figs?
Like a fig. I mean, I can't say go get a fig Newton bar because they got so much.
Taste like a fig.
Because they got so much junk added to them. They don't really taste like that. Now we've made our own homemade fig Newton bars, but
yeah, I do make the homemade ones. But
what's the best time to plant a fig tree? I'm in South Louisiana. Probably in the fall would be the best time.
All right.
And mulch the fool, guys. Any fig tree wherever you live at. Mulch about 6 inches deep, way out around the tree, because all the roots on a fig tree grow right on top of the ground, and they will freeze and die back if you don't.
Okay. Adam asked this. Should they be freeze drying to eliminate so much stuff in the freezer?
Yes. Yes.
We do that quite regularly. I take things out and either cook it and then put it in the freeze dryer, or if it's something that I can lay out and freeze dry, we do that. We're going to be doing more of that here lately once the figs are out of the way.
Stacy wants to know, when should she start onion seeds? She's in 8B. You need to start the 1st to the middle of September. I would start the 1st of September if it was me, because you're going to need to plant them by the end of November or mid-November. We like to plant ours from around the middle of November, so you're going to want to start them in September.
All right, with what's coming, would it be good to plant in partial shade next spring?
Yes, always plant in partial shade now. Do not put anything in full sun anymore unless you're going to put up shade cloths.
All right.
Are seeds in the freezer okay? They should be. I mean,
my mother-in-law used to keep them in the freezer all the time, and she'd take them out year after year and just keep planting, and most of them did pretty good. So.
Tomato hornworms ate all the leaves off my potato plants. Should I dig up all my potatoes now? It depends on how long they've been in the ground. If they've been in the ground around 90 days, dig them up. But if not, give them just a week or two to see if they pop back. Because what's going to happen if you're not careful, the potatoes will start sprouting underground, and you'll lose them.
Yeah.
Do we make wine from mulberries? Nope, we don't make any wine from anything.
There, another way to, with that, I need to put this up. Pickle Pantry is another book. If you like to pickle stuff, it tells about pickling anything. I'm talking just about anything from okra peppers, cauliflower, plums, garlic. I mean, anything you want to pickle, you can pickle it. And this is a good book. That's another way to preserve. You're not getting this one. This one's mine. Just saying. But we will give away the other 2 books in just a little bit.
Can Danny see my comments? The comments go by so fast, guys. I just have to grab one when I see it. I might see it. I might not see it.
Are you going to sell any sugar cane? I would like to try that.
It depends on. It really depends on how much we have this year. We didn't make any syrup last year because we had a crop failure. We had to replant everything we had, so we've got to make syrup this year. And if it looks like we'll have some to sell, we will. But if not, then we won't. And somebody asked a while ago about Danny corn. There's not going to be any Danny corn this year or until fall of next year, and it just depends on whether we have a crop that we can get any out of.
Okay, somebody asked about the green stalks. Do I change out the soil every year? No, I usually don't. I usually will kind of dump it in a bucket, fluff it up, maybe add some nutrients to it, put it back in. If I need new soil, I add extra to it. But I'm fixing to have to do a couple of my green stalks that way this time.
Ronnie wants to know, have we ever grown Keyshaw squash? Actually, I have the seeds. Mr. Al gave me the seeds to one of them, and I just haven't had a chance to grow them yet.
Yeah.
My tomatoes will not turn red. Is there any reason for that? Too hot. It's probably just too hot.
Can I feed mulberries to chickens?
Oh yeah, chickens love mulberries.
They love them. Somebody asked a while ago what one was my favorite seasoning, and one of my favorites is Miss Lippy's Bayou Blends, the pork and good. She has 3 different blends, but the pork and good is the one I like more than the others on stuff. I use the swamp mix quite a bit, and I use the cluck and good, the chicken one, but mine is the pork and good.
Somebody wants to know how my sugar cane's doing. My sugar cane is doing great. It's over, what would you say the sugar cane now is? About 7 foot tall?
It's taller than me.
It's taller than us.
And it wasn't that tall 2 weeks ago. It was way down here. And now it's up here. So within 2 weeks, it's just shooting.
Linda wants to know where to buy sugar cane to grow. You have to wait till fall because sugar cane, you get the cuttings in the fall.
I have not ever had ants in my green stalk.
No, we've never had ants in our green stalks.
The base usually keeps water in it, and that keeps the ants from getting and going on up. So I've not had that problem.
Raw Food Writer says, what's wrong with planting in full sun? The sun now is in a solar minimum. It is the solar winds around the earth and the geomagnetic fields are relaxing. The radiation from the sun is actually going to destroy your gardens. Go watch Boss of the Swamp. Boss of the Swamp shows you his plants outside. He shows you his plants inside. You can see ours. You look at our high tunnels, how things grow in the high tunnels versus what grows outside. The sun is destroying everything outside.
Yeah. Yeah, several people saying they
well,
lost
Gail said she lost hers. Lots of people are saying, Jersey Girl said her sugar cane's over 10 feet tall. All right. Been getting some good rain, I guess.
Ours, once the rain started, we're not getting a lot of rain, but we're getting a shower, and that's helped our sugar cane, and it's starting to kick.
A Fishes of Loaves and Lies says, how do you contain sugar cane in South Florida? Sugar cane doesn't get invasive. It don't get out of control. I mean, it just makes a big clump, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's not like bamboo.
Yeah, it's not like bamboo, and it's not like the cane that people plant that
right
for fishing poles. I don't know what you call it.
Yes, it's not like that.
It's not that type of cane. I'm trying to see. Boy. All right. What's causing
the brown wilting on my bushes, do you think? The sun? Oh yeah. Saved by grace, yes. The sun is destroying things like crazy.
Yeah, and once we had that one burst, and that's what I'm gonna call it. It's like there was a burst hit Danny's corn, and then it hit several different things like our grandpa's fig. All the leaves looked like they were just burnt, and we thought we lost the tree and everything, but the tree's still living, and it was loaded with figs. And the funny thing is, all the leaves fell off. The figs are still growing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we may get a harvest on a fig tree that has no leaves.
Yeah, we
the
might.
leaves are coming back. And the huckleberry, you can't hardly kill a huckleberry here. And it was under trees. It was very protected, and it looked like somebody took a torch and just torched the whole huckleberry. All of it's green now, and it's coming back out. So whatever happened was like a burst.
Guys, we can't put a light in front of us. I've talked about this at the beginning of the program tonight. It leaves little circles on Wanda's glasses and everything, and we can't do that. We have them sitting right here in front of us, but when we turn them on, it won't work with her glasses, so we can't do it. We have an EMP coming in 2 days. I did see that, Psalms 91.
Well, we are protected.
We're protected here because I have EMP protection shields on everything that I have. And I would advise you, if you don't have an EMP protection shield,
especially on your house,
go and we got a link in the description. Go get you one, especially for your house, because it's a great lightning arrestor, protects your home from lightning. Has an insurance policy that comes with it. If you lose anything, they cover it with insurance. I mean, it's well worth it.
Yeah. Have you ever grown anything from store-bought produce, veggies, fruits, pineapples, etc.? Pineapples, yes. We have a whole supply of pineapples that we started from pineapples
but
that
now,
we bought.
You have to be careful because the pineapple people have gotten wise to this, and they're pinching the tops out of all the pineapples now, where they
make
will
sure
not.
It has the.
You got to make sure
middle.
It's got the middle and the top, because they're pulling the tops out of them where people can't do that.
We planted black-eyed peas and different dried peas before about 3 or 4 years ago, and they did great.
Somebody wants to know, what is an LCE? It's a life-changing event.
Life done free. Thank you. Danny, do you have a favorite work boot?
Yes, I do. It's an LL Bean. It has turned out to be my best work boot yet, that LL Bean boot is. It's a low top. I really don't know if there's a particular name to it.
Probably, but and then we have the Cujo shoes.
The Cujo shoes is the next would be my next one, and we have a link for that in the description.
Yeah, we don't have one for the LL Beans.
Yeah, I don't have one for the LL Bean, but I do have one for Cujo. But LL Bean is my number 1. Cujo is my number 2.
All right, we haven't seen anything yet with the weather. No, we haven't. What is your favorite work glove? I don't wear gloves 90% of the time. I'm one of those that just dives in with my hands.
Yeah.
But I have some that I use off and on, especially when I'm dealing with pulling weeds because of briars here. And I can't say that I have a favorite, but I really like these gloves that Miss Lippy's husband, Buddy, sends me. I've got a pair in my Ranger that when I need them, I just grab them and put them on, and I don't know what they're called. They came from Mr. Buddy.
Yeah.
They're my Buddy gloves.
Where do you find out that the EMP is coming in 2 days? Guys, I'm tied in with all kinds of people that I can't talk about, but trust me. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be an EMP.
We don't know that.
The sun doesn't cause an EMP. The sun causes a CME, which is a coronal mass ejection. And I haven't gotten word yet that the one that's coming is going to be what they call a kill shot.
So is this
I don't
what
know.
they think's coming is more of a coronal mass ejection?
Yes.
See, people are calling it an
People
EMP.
are calling it an EMP. Now, there is a possibility. Now, let me say this. New York City has, and was it Jersey too, has put out radiation warnings, and guys, I can't go into that here.
Yeah, we're supposed to be talking about.
Miss Wanda's slapping me over here, telling me that
we can't talk about all this stuff.
We're supposed to be talking about harvesting and stuff like that, and canning and things like that.
But do mention the EMP and the CME are two different things.
Yeah, coronal mass ejection does the same thing that an EMP does.
And the EMP shield works for both.
It works for both, yes.
That is.
Thanks, 242 Mama.
All right. It could still be dangerous, yes.
A lot of people have heart problems. A lot of people will have fatigue. I mean, joint problems. There's going to be all kinds of things that's going to happen.
Yeah, health issues will be related to that.
Yeah.
So y'all have to know that you may not just run to the doctor all the time. It's going to be the atmosphere.
Yeah.
BP Earthwatch does good on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse at BP Earthwatch has a lot to say about that. I leave stuff like that to those guys because Jesse's got pulled down before, had his channel took away from him from doing that kind of stuff. I'm not going to run that risk. I've given my word to certain people that I won't talk about certain things, and I don't.
All right, how long does it take to get a pineapple after you get the top to take hold?
2 to 4 years.
And we have videos over on CRAZY DAZES, which is my channel, showing how to take the top off, how to get it ready, how to root it, and even how to plant it. We have them where we've harvested pineapples. We have 3 right now that are really big pineapples. So
hold on here, one going by here. Cooley, or Aaron Cooley, what soil did I need to plant citrus in pots? Any good potting soil will work. Just get you a good citrus fertilizer to go with it, a good time release one, and a good just plain fertilizer. Because I have mine in just plain Schultz potting soil, and they do just fine.
does your overalls,
What about them?
does that company make them for women? I really don't know.
I don't know if they make them for women or
But
not.
they could check.
I mean, it's Roundhouse. You could send them an email and ask them.
Well, you could go online and go to their roundhouse.com and
Yeah.
check. That's what Danny wears is Roundhouse. He loves Roundhouse. They are made in America. They're good overall. Check and see if they make them for women. But I also know I have wore some of Danny's, and so the men's are comfortable if you find the right size for you.
Yeah.
Do you think a greenhouse in Southwest Florida is a good idea?
Not a greenhouse. A greenhouse is not good in zone 8 and below because our temperatures are just getting too hot. I don't recommend a greenhouse for any zone. I'm gonna be honest with you. I only recommend high tunnels. High tunnels, and depending on whether you get a snow load or not, depends on the type you need to go with. And if you get snow loads, you need to go with the Gothic style. If you just have no snow loads to worry about, then you can use a regular high tunnel. But I only recommend high tunnels.
I forgot what it said. I got to run back. Do we grow roses or just food? I have a rose garden.
She has a whole rose
I have
garden.
all
Yeah.
kinds of roses in my rose garden. Somebody wants to know, can you put fish fertilizer to carrots?
Yes, you can put fish fertilizer around carrots. Somebody asked a while ago, can they plant carrots this time of the year? You can. I don't recommend planting carrots in this time of the year. I recommend waiting until about probably late September to plant carrots and let them grow through the winter because they're a whole lot sweeter in the wintertime than they are in the summertime.
All right, somebody wants to know, who would you buy small garden hand tools from?
Oh man, I don't know because we don't buy small garden hand tools.
We have most all of it already.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one. I mean, you might try Tractor Supply and just see.
All right, they want to know the difference between high tunnel and greenhouse, and mention the high sidewall.
Well, that's the difference. A greenhouse does not have. It just goes from the ground and just makes a hoop. If you live in a zone where there's a lot of heat, there's nowhere for that heat to get out of there at. Everything is too close down. If you in a hot zone like 8 or below, 8, 9, or 10, you need to go with a high tunnel, which has 7.5 foot high sidewalls on it, so you can roll them up and get the heat out of it. Put vents at the top where you can get all that out of there. Now up north, a greenhouse might make it a little better up north. I know Okie Rob has some greenhouses where his sides, I think, 3 feet up, roll up on them. But other than that, I do not recommend them.
All right, so somebody wants to know, do I have a good potato recipe? I don't know what kind of recipe you're talking about. I have a lot of potato recipes, so you would have to be a little more specific. Roundhouse has the
Guinness record for the largest overall.
Wow, I didn't know that. Somebody wants to know who Bridget Mendler is. I have no idea.
I know who. I don't even know.
Okay.
What are the health benefits of cayenne pepper? Cayenne pepper is great for the cardiovascular system. It has tons of benefits, guys. I mean, literally, it is great for stopping bleeding. If you have a cut, you can pack it with cayenne pepper. It's really good for that. I used to keep it with my animals when I trim my goat hooves or something. If I happen to nick one of them a little bit or something, I kept it for that.
All right, so we have 2 winners for the soup mixes. One of them is Wing Mom 19.
Wing Mom?
Yeah, WINGMON.
Wing Mom 19. Send us your information where we can get one of these books out to you.
Yeah, the soup mixes. The other one is Andrea Palmer. So Andrea Palmer, if you will send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com, we will send these out. And then the rehydrating, I don't know.
Yes, I did see my Danny corn at Kevin and Sarah's. I did. Kevin told me it was doing great.
Okay, this book, Betty. It just says Betty. If somebody's got the thing that just says Betty, you'll have to see. And if anybody else would like a book like this, where you can calculate how on freeze drying or dehydrated foods, we do have those, and we want to thank Miss Wanda for sending those to us. All right, that way we got. Let's see. People are saying things because they're way behind us.
Well, what happened was Miss Wanda had a secret thing going on behind the scenes as to who Miss Lippy had to pick up. She had her own specific thing going on behind the scenes in order to keep out trolls.
Yes, because if we say we're doing a giveaway, or if I say something about doing, I mean, if I put it in the title, put it that way, or if we tell people to do certain things on here, we end up with trolls galore in here. And so behind the scenes, Miss Lippy is doing something for me to figure out who the winners are. We have a system worked out with that. If I hold the book up, my face is lighter. So what am I doing to make that? I don't know.
I don't know. Hold on.
When I do this and I take it down, it's
the camera. It's the camera.
It's the camera. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a ranch? No, we do not have a ranch. We have a small homestead.
All right. Where can we get a reasonably priced freeze dryer? We have a link in the description for Harvest Right. They have a really good freeze dryer. Everybody I know that has one seems to like it. They do well with it. You can check them out. Reasonably priced. I don't know what the price is because they may be going up a touch because of all the stuff going on. But I do know they've been a decent price for a while now. Trolls again. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like I have shades on.
Well, her glasses are tinted glasses.
They go in and out according to light and dark because I have a problem with light hitting me in the eyes. So I do have.
Do we have any cows left? Yes, we have 4 cows, a bull, and some calves left.
Yeah, guys, y'all don't have to worry about the trolls.
Yeah,
they're taking care of them if y'all just let it ride. All my moderators know how to take care of that and get it out of here. Let's see. All right, I think we're about going on. Somebody said they thoroughly enjoyed your most recent porch times.
Thank you, Raw Food Writer.
My chickens are breathing through their mouths. Please tell me that it's just the heat.
Yes, chickens are doing it. Turkeys are doing it. It's just that hot.
Yeah. Y'all, my turkey's like a shower. Danny laughs because I go out there and I start watering the chickens and then I turn around to water the turkeys and I have to spray the three. We have 3 turkeys left. And I spray them and they take them a shower.
Yep.
They just walk around in the rain. Are you having trouble finding hay?
Nope. We bought hay for 2 years a year ago. Well, this year this year we bought hay for 2 years because we knew what was coming.
We still have Mr. Dexter, Dolly, Dixie, and Daisy, and Candy.
Yeah.
And then we have little Duke.
Yep.
And then Dixie
in 2 weeks should have another baby calf. Yeah.
And then we have Candy in September, Dolly in December, and Daisy again in February or March next year. All of them do different times. All right.
It is past 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Thank y'all for all the comments about porch times. And somebody says, did I hear about the possible railroad strike this Monday? Yes, I knew about this probably 2 weeks ago. I just don't talk about a lot of stuff.
It may or may not happen.
Because it may or may not happen. Depends on what kind of deal they reach. You know, they're talking about bringing the president into it and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if all, I mean, guys, this is all hyped up stuff. And if the rail system shuts down, I mean, actually, I knew about it six weeks ago, to be honest with you. So it is what it is.
How do you cut your sweet potatoes? They are so tough. Y'all, we got a video we gotta do.
We got a video we gotta do to show you how to build a system to cut these sweet potatoes
We've been gonna do it for a while, and Mr. Al showed Danny how to do this, and we are just, it'll make a lot of difference.
It'll make a ton. Matter of fact, we have some sweet potatoes now we could probably do the video.
Yeah, we need to do something and show y'all how to do that.
Yeah.
It's something that most people can build.
Yeah, anybody can build it. Really simple. And it works so good.
All right, y'all put your prayer request up and give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. It helps out just a little bit. Lisa, my figs looked yummy.
Thank you.
Danny's been chomping on them a little bit.
My arms, if y'all notice me sitting here tonight rubbing my arms, because my arms, I've been picking figs because sometimes it will get a little sprinkle or something like that and the leaves get wet and I go to pick them and all of a sudden, man, my arms go to itching, which has never done that before with me. This year's the first year.
Yeah. All right, let's see. They're all putting up prayer requests. What state are we in? We're in Mississippi. We're
South Mississippi.
30 miles from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I have not thought about fermenting sweet potatoes, but you can ferment most anything from carrots and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
If you like fermented foods, that is one thing that you can do to.
This person who keeps doing something about Bridget Miller, just take them down because they're a troll.
Yeah, they're just asking questions, being ugly. Time for long sleeves, Danny.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess the older I get.
I put on gloves today because he's been doing most of the picking, but I take the stems off, and when you take the stems off, that's where that stuff is, and this finger it's plumb sore. So I wore gloves today, but we may be through.
Goji berries are thriving. Didn't realize they produce thorns. Yes, they do.
And most of you stuff like that's wild, it will produce.
Yeah.
I've got 3 or 4 that are doing really decent. We're just gonna see how they do.
Oh, can you dehydrate sweet potatoes? Yes. Matter of fact, Miss Wanda's been making some stuff out of some dehydrated sweet potatoes.
Yes, I bought from a company to try it. I've got videos on Crazy Days, and I just put one on Deep South. Um, I use the dehydrated. They call them air dried sweet potatoes. If you go and look up air dried sweet potatoes, it was North. I think it's called North Star, but I can't remember the name exactly of the company. But I bought dehydrated sweet potatoes in little tiny cubes, and then I bought the dehydrated powder, sweet potato powder. Well, they call it air dried.
Yeah.
And I've made his sweet potato stuff out of both, just testing them for future use. And he likes the way they taste.
Turned out fine for me.
So you can buy them.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and pray. And you can keep putting your prayer requests up. God sees them, and and we'll remember as much as we can. Father, we thank you so much for being so good to us tonight. You've been great. We've had a great chat tonight. We've enjoyed with the company and the fellowship with our subscribers here, Lord. And Father, we want to take a moment of our time here tonight to ask that you listen to the prayers of everyone that's putting them up here tonight. Father, there's too many for us to remember each and every one of them. So we're asking you, as being the great physician, to look down upon each and every one of them, Father, and to be able to answer them in a way that would edify and glorify you. Some people are talking about physical issues, some talking about financial issues. They need some stability in their finances and different things, Lord. And some people have got doctor's appointments and I seen one said somebody had a place on a brain that lit up and they just need prayers. And Father, we're just asking tonight that you would be kind and show your grace and mercy in all these areas. People having some anxiety and some depression and things. And Lord, we're asking that you help them overcome all these issues and give them stability, Lord. Give them peace and happiness and joy, and restore all this to them. And for those that's lost loved ones this week or maybe in the past and it's still bothering them, we're praying that you'll help them find that place that they need to be able to go to find peace and happiness again in their life, Lord. And Father, we love you. We appreciate you. We pray for our country. We pray for this relentless heat that has built over the central part of our country, Lord. And I'm praying that you'll help break this heat dome and help it to get over with faster than they're anticipating. And Lord, there's all types of things going on in our country today we can't really talk about here, but Lord, you know my heart, and I'm praying for each and every one of them, Father. And I pray for all the homesteads mentioned here, and that they'll just be productive, and that their fruit and their food will all grow well, and they'll be able to preserve and to store much food for the uncertain future that lies ahead now. Please forgive us if we failed you in the kingdom of heaven. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
All right, so we got to talk about the troll thing. The spammer, whatever, was doing that.
Yeah.
3 times this past week we had videos that were hit with spam or trolls, whatever you want to say.
Hackers of some kind.
They use our avatar. It looks like the Deep South symbol. And then they put that you won something to message them on Telegram, or they put a phone number or something like that, and a whole bunch of emojis. Do not contact those people. That is not us.
We will never ask for anything unless we do it just like we did tonight. We picked a winner tonight, and we said, please email us. That's all we'll say.
Yeah, we are not on Telegram. We are not on all these other things. If they use anything else, we are not on that. So do not do it. They're hitting all channels all over the place, and it's causing us trouble. All you can do is report it.
Yeah.
And 2, if you'll read it, it doesn't sound like really good English.
Never give out your information unless you hear it come out of our mouth.
Yeah. They were asking for your name, your address, your phone number. They were telling you that you had to pay them $65 or something for shipping. Y'all don't go there.
Yeah, don't even do it.
Yeah, we had like 3 times this week. Yes, WhatsApp is another one. We're not on WhatsApp. We're
No.
not on Telegram. I don't have time for all that. And if you'll look, if it's under yours, look at other people's comments. If it's under everybody's, y'all just hit block or report or whatever it is you can do.
And
hit report.
Guys, please read the comments, because lots of times you may think I'm not answering your comment, but I'll get the same question 50 times in a video, and I'm only going to answer it once or twice. And if you'll go through and read the comments in the videos, then you'll probably,
saves us some time.
It'll save me a lot of time, because I usually answer it somewhere in the comments. So don't think I'm not answering you, because I am answering you. It's just that I only answer so many. I'm not going to sit there and type the same thing 50 times in a row, you know.
Yeah. And it does take us a lot of time having to block these people and go in there and hide even every one of them and report them and all this stuff, take them down. Because I don't know at the people I got emails from this week. Y'all don't know how many emails I got.
Yeah.
People wanting to know what they had won, or was it us, or whatever. And a lot of them just reporting it to us that they knew it was a troll. So, or a spam.
Before we get off of here tonight, tip of the night.
You got a tip?
Don't have a tip tonight. Let me think for a moment.
You don't have a tip.
There's, well, I told them about Lake Mead last week. If you're getting your water from Lake Mead, I feel sorry for you. If you're getting your electricity, I feel sorry for you. You're going to be without before long.
If they don't do something different.
But guys, if you live in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, through the Dakotas, all the way to Canada, be prepared for even Missouri, parts of Arkansas, parts of Louisiana, even sections of Colorado over that way.
Parts of Mississippi, in some ways,
in
the
some
top
parts of Mississippi. Guys, the heat is going to be relentless for another 3 weeks, I know for sure. It could last to the end of September. Just being honest. So be prepared. If you don't have your blackout curtains and all that for your house to help keep your house cool, then you need to get something to put over the windows. If it ain't nothing but aluminum foil or whatever, put it over the windows to help block out the sun.
Thick blankets.
Yeah.
Whatever you can find. Danny and I have blinds all through our house, and we had never put blinds in the dining room. We just like the big open window, and we decided, hey, look, here's a weak spot in our
house here. We put those blinds in there, and now the dining room used to never could keep it cool. Now it stays just as cool, and it's under a porch.
Yeah, we have a porch, but yet it made a difference just in the dining room. So I know if you have windows that the sun will hit, the sun doesn't even hit the dining room at all, but it still made a difference.
And it's going to go all the way up into Canada. I mean, the thing about it is y'all's temperatures up there are going to reach 115 to 120 degrees up in Kansas, and I mean, all up through the central part of the United States up in there. And guys, a lot of y'all are not ready for that, because it's not something that y'all normally get for long periods of time. And I'm just telling you, be prepared. It's coming.
Yeah. And like Allison said, those same shades and curtains help keep the house warm in the wintertime, because the winter could be extreme. If we have one extreme in the summer, it's likely you'll have an extreme in the winter. And for those of you that know, when the power goes out and you don't have any other heat, you better have something that holds in what little heat you have.
Yes.
That's going to be a
if you live up in the, let's just say, Ohio, Pennsylvania, up through Wisconsin, Michigan, up into there, you're going to be colder and wetter is what I'm finding out than normal.
Okay, they want a tip for the East Coast next week. Look for tsunamis. I'm just
No,
joking.
no, no, no.
I'm just
Depends on
joking.
what part of the East Coast you're talking about. The East Coast covers everything from Maine to Florida. It depends on what part of the East Coast you're talking about.
I would say North Carolina, South Carolina, look for tsunamis. Just joking. Just joking,
Yeah,
Billy.
you're only going to be up in Michigan up through, all the way to Maine, actually. You're going to be cooler than normal.
Yeah. So we gotta go. I'm fixing to go get me some
Yeah.
ice cream. Just saying.
Let's get off of here and let these people get some rest.
I'm headed for some ice cream.
Thank you guys for watching again tonight. No. Start down here. Oh, I'm sorry. She's sitting here like, go ahead, dog. Guys, we love and appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a blessed evening, okay?